Deshaun Watson to the Jets? Really? Let's talk about it. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL here to talk about some news in regards to Deshaun Watson. So we are going to get into all that. But if you're new to the channel, make sure to go ahead and subscribe if you have not done so already. Make sure you are following me on all my social media platforms. Links is always down below. Make sure you are hitting the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video, which is a lot. Trust me, a lot. All right, so with that being said, let's get into it. So I wake up this morning and I get a notification that there is a report out there that Deshaun Watson apparently prefers the New York Jets as his number one option. Well, isn't that just great? Okay? So I'm like, all right, let's see what this report is. Let's see if it's actually true or not. And the report comes from the Miami Herald. All right, and a reporter from the Miami Herald, let me get his name right here for you guys, Armando Segura, okay? And he basically put out this article saying that Deshaun Watson's preferred option is the New York Jets, followed by the Miami Dolphins. So obviously over here as a Bears fan, I'm getting a little depressed because I'm like, wow, I want the Bears to get Deshaun Watson. Why does he want to go to the Jets or the Dolphins? And then I'm like, okay, hold on a damn second. How accurate is this report? I've never heard of this guy before, right? If this is Adam Schefter, if this is Ian Rappaport, if this is a legitimate source saying Deshaun Watson's number one, number two option is the Jets and Dolphins, then I'm like, okay, I got nothing to question there. These are verified sources. But this is a Miami Herald reporter. And then I started to do a little bit of research on him. And I'm thinking, okay, his reputation is actually not very good. He's a reporter that I've seen people talk about as a guy who likes to clickbait, a guy who does not have that great of a reputation as being a trusted source. And so basically everything I've read about, this guy, and I don't know him, obviously, I'm just going off of what I've read about him, is that he's not a very good source. So again, we don't know if this report is right or not, but I don't want Bears fans to freak out after reading this report because I don't believe this source is legitimate enough for us to freak out. Right? Like I said, if it's a top NFL reporter like a Schefter, like a Ian Rappaport, it's time to freak out. All right, but it's not. And so I would say that, let's pause. This is going to happen a lot, folks, okay? This is going to happen a lot where we're going to have tons of reports about Deshaun Watson pretty much until he gets traded. Again, that is if he does get traded. And so we're just going to have to put up with it. But be cognizant of the fact that not every report is going to be accurate. Right? So if you're reading all these articles and they're saying Deshaun Watson wants to go here, there, this, there, let's not, overreact. And I don't want to be the hypocrite here saying if this reporter came out and said Deshaun Watson's number one option is the Chicago Bears, I'm not about to sit up here and say, oh, he is 100% accurate. This is going to happen because it's the Bears. No, let's be objective about this. I want it to be a legitimate source. So I'm not ready to freak out here. Look, let's talk about the Jets. And I've mentioned it before. If you're Deshaun Watson and your goal to get out of Houston is because, one, they haven't put a good enough team around you, and two, you haven't been able to win because they haven't put a good team enough around you, then why would you go to the Jets where they're still a few years away from winning? They just hired a new head coach in Robert Saleh, who is apparently the number one reason, according to the article, why Watson wants to go to the Jets, which that part I get, the head coach, because I think Robert Saleh was a fantastic hire, a home run hire for the Jets. He's going to turn that organization around. But let's not forget the fact that Deshaun Watson wants to win now, wants to compete for Super Bowls now. If he wants to look at his contemporaries like a Patrick Mahomes and these other guys that are competing for Super Bowls every year, he's not going to be able to do that with the Jets right away with that roster. The Jets have a lot of cap space. They have a lot of draft capital. Absolutely. They can make the trade for Deshaun Watson, but do they have the right pieces around him right now? They don't. They don't. They are still a few years away from competing. The Miami Dolphins, I would argue, are probably closer than the Jets. They actually have a ready-made defense. They just need to add a couple of receivers and a running back, and that's a better situation for Deshaun. But either which way, I'm not ready to say that, the sources are good enough for me to think that he's going one way or the other. So for Deshaun Watson, I'm not ruling out any team from the list of teams that we've discussed. Again, that's not to say that I'm saying, Deshaun should only want to come to the Bears and no other team. But I am saying that let's not jump to conclusions here. So to me, the Jets don't make that much sense because they are not ready to win right now. Could they be ready to win in a year or two? Sure. But right now, I don't see it. I think the Bears are still a better situation. I think the Dolphins are a better situation. The Dolphins one, to me, is legitimate. Like, I'm scared of the Dolphins because you're talking about, warm weather, Miami, Brian Flores has built a great culture there, good defense. Again, they just need to add a couple receivers, give them a couple weapons, and they have the draft capital. They have Tua who they can trade for. So the Dolphins scares me. The Jets, not so much. But we'll see what happens here. So overall, folks, don't freak out. Got a lot to, dissect and go through with this offseason. It's going to be crazy. I'm going to keep you updated every step of the way. But I'm here to tell you, don't freak out to this report about Deshaun Watson to the New York Jets. I'm just not ready to go with this source. All right, so let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. Who scares you if you're a Bears fan in the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes? I told you Miami scares me the most out of any team. Let me know who it is for you. Leave a comment down below as always. Thanks for watching.